Hey, this is Mike. Thank you so much for choosing this video. Today I'm in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina visiting Sparks Toyota, and I'm checking out the completely redesigned 2021 Toyota Sienna in the XSE trim level. This Sienna is sitting on 235/50 Michelin tires wrapped around 20-inch alloy wheels with a satin gray wheel cover. It also has four-wheel disc brakes with ventilated rotors on all four wheels. The name of this color is Super White, and it's just a basic gloss white. There's nothing really special about this particular color, but it does help to identify some of the features of the vehicle a little bit better than other colors. So this has this massive grille in the front, and it is a gloss black. You see all the facets there kind of sparkle in the sunlight. It also hides these parking sensors across the front. See, there's one right there, and there's your fog lights down here. And these are just basically just for looks. So there's a lot of just for looks going on here. So these are just for looks right here. And then this grille, there's huge portions of it that have no airflow whatsoever. So right here in the very center, the top and the bottom has airflow. The rest of it is just blocked off and there's no airflow whatsoever. So that's interesting. Now there's a lot of gloss black, so of course in that grille you also have gloss black around the emblem, and the emblem has that blue accent, and it also serves as the adaptive cruise control radar system, which is standard on all the trims. The headlights are LED, so all the exterior lighting here in the front is LED. Turn signal, daytime running light, headlights. Now the headlights are in a reflector, and the fog lights are in a little focused projector beam. So this bottom lip right in here is a matte black, and the grille is a gloss black. When you go on the side of the vehicle, that bottom lip, that bottom area starts to become a gloss black back here. So looking at the profile, one of the main things that really stood out to me is this accent right here, this bulging of the rear wheel well. That really separates this from other, and just by looking at it, it makes it look different than the average minivan, which has just like this big flat side. So especially when you get it at a three-quarter view or the front view, it really kind of stands out as a really nice a styling accent for a minivan. Kind of separates it there. Okay, so the handles are body colored in white, but it also has a chrome accent there as well. The upper portion of the side mirror is gloss black. This bottom plastic piece is gloss black, and the wheels have a wheel cover, and from what I understand, this is for aerodynamics. So it has a specially designed wheel cover, and also from what I understand, that it's replaceable. So if you damage one, you can replace it. So it kind of protects the actual aluminum wheel. Now, it has privacy glass from here back. The dealer tinted the front glass, and the pillars are a matte black, kind of solidifying all this glass. Now the upper portion right up in here has a chrome trim across the top, and then you have the matte black roof rails up there as well. The sliding door slides on a track, and they did a good job of hiding that track right here underneath the glass. So you probably didn't even notice it before until you get close, and you can see right where the door actually slides. This is what the key looks like, and it is a full proximity key system, and you can just keep it in your pocket and use the vehicle 100%. There's also a physical key in the inside when you need it, but it's a little bit larger than the average key fob, but it's a little bit lighter as well. So that's interesting. When I first picked it up, I expected it to be a little bit heavier, but it feels light. So it has some very useful buttons on it. But you don't have to use it. You could just keep it in your pocket. But when you do want to open up the doors, You can lock, unlock. You can open either one of the side doors, open up the power lift gate. There's also a panic button. But generally, as long as it's with you, as long as it's on the outside of the vehicle, in your pocket, in a bag, as long as it's within the, close proximity of the outside of one of the doors here, both the front and the back, you can access the car. You can also lock the car. There's a little line right here, little indicator. When you put your finger on that, it senses the key, it senses that's your hand, and it locks the vehicle. Now, the front door acts a little bit differently from the back. So the back door, now that it's locked, you can pull the handle and it'll just stay locked. You push this button and it'll open the door. It senses the key. The front door is a little bit different. There is no button. You put your hand behind the handle and it senses your hand and allows you access. There's also a physical key location here on the driver's side only. Here's the inside of the passenger side door, and it's a dark gray interior color. There's like an orange contrast stitching here in the armrest. There's a pocket right here that's enclosed. You also have like a little shelf pocket, and this one is deeper than this one, so that's more of a quick access. This one's has a little bit more depth. And then you have bottle holders, cup holders, and a little storage space there at the bottom. There's a speaker there as well. There's also a puddle light right here. You see it accents around the buttons. The soft touch surfaces, this is all soft touch here. And here, this is like a vinyl type material. This is like a synthetic, plasticky, soft touch surface, and then the rest of it is a hard touch down here. The battery is actually underneath the driver and passenger seat, and there's like a vent here for cooling. So that's what that is. The passenger side seat is powered, but it does not have the ability to go up and down, just forward and back and tilt here. These seats are a Softex synthetic leather, and it's smooth material here at the bottom, and at the back it is textured. Kind of looks like a star pattern right in here. It's looking pretty neat. And check out this pass-through under here. Huge area that you can be utilized for the driver or the passenger. It's a 12-volt power supply in there. Just a wide open spot to put stuff. There's your leg room, and it has just a regular carpet mat in this case that does hook in place. It is secure. There's your leg room. Plenty of leg room here in the front. Also the back. It's absolutely amazing how much room is in this vehicle. So you have some more contrast stitching here. This is a hard plastic here at the bottom. Soft touch as you go up, and then hard, and then the dash, same deal. So soft and hard. The glove compartment is locking, and it's smooth plastic on the inside. Really like this shelf. So when you get in the vehicle, if you have something in your hands, in addition to the storage space on the door, you also have this long shelf that goes all the way across. To open up these sliding doors, you can use the key. You can hold the button on the key. You can kick your foot, as indicated by the sticker here, and the little sensor is right there, so it shows you where to kick your foot, so you're not kicking your foot around, dancing in the parking lot, trying to open it up with your arms full of stuff, so you know right where to kick. Or you could just simply push and hold this button for a second. Even if the key is even if it's locked, as long as you have the key with you, you can go ahead and open it up. Now I noticed that the door doesn't open up, like there's a little bit of, gets in the way a little slightly, but it's still plenty of room here. I was expecting to go further back is what I'm saying, but it goes back enough. Alright, so there's the threshold getting in. You have the hard plastics here, and then strips of carpet. It's very strange they have this carpet mat over top of the carpet here and here, and just kind of strips of it, so it kind of gets out of place sometimes, these carpets. It's kind of interesting why they choose to do that, but it does protect the carpet underneath, I guess. But look how much room here. Now I have this first seat all the way back, so you can see there's a track here in the floor, and you can slide the seat all the way forward or all the way back. In this case, this one is all the way back. The second one is in a more normal position, but I have it reclined, so you can see that they do recline, and that's the articulation there of the back. On the back of both front seats is the pocket right here. And so this is pretty cool. You have some charge ports here, USB-C and your regular USB, and then you have this little hook for hanging a bag or whatever here. There's cup holders here at the bottom, and a little storage area, a little place to put some pens or whatever. And there's the inside of the doors. So it has, a power window control there. There's your door handle, door lock, little interesting speaker grill there as well, and a bottle holder at the bottom. You also have the climate control up here. So it's in the center position instead of one side. So now, either the driver or the passenger. So the thing about this is it's a dual zone. So in the back, in addition, the front has two different zones, and back here you have the temperature for the left and the right. So the only people that are in this vehicle that don't have control over their climate is the third row. So you would have to share these temperature settings with the third row. You have these lights right here that you can turn on or off. When the door's open right now, the lights are on, but we can turn it on and have a reading light too as well. There's a little place to hang something, and then a handle as well. And these handles are really big and robust. So we got this large handle, they're rubbery grip. So they're not just regular smooth plastic, they do have a rubber grip, and it goes all the way down here. So here, all the way up, like so. There's also this little button right here, and this will open and close the door. So you can push that button as well, or you can simply just grab this and pull it forward like that, and it'll slide closed. And there's a little storage space right here in addition to the cup holder. There's also a shade in the door, so we can lift that up. It kind of hides in there. If we want to open the door, we can of course push the button, or we can just push this back. There's also a power window here. I don't have the vehicle started, so it's not going to work. I'll show you that in a few minutes. But it's really easy. A child can push a button, or they can just easily push that back. It's not hard to get in and out of the vehicle. When we lift up this lever right here, the seat goes into this position here. So you can see that kind of sandwiches up, so you can move it forward. And so that's as far as it goes. So even if you have the front seat all the way more forward, this seat can't go any further. So there's a little bit of a missed opportunity as far as having more space behind it. But this is the maximum amount of space, which is not bad at all, of course. But for getting into the third row, here is your path. And getting into the third row is, for most adults, it's okay. And sitting in the third row in this particular vehicle is not bad. So I can see I have this seat all the way, not all the way back, but in a normal position, but I do have it reclined. So the leg room is a little bit tight for me to sit over there. But there's a cup holder here on the left side. You have a little window to look out. We have climate control vents. We have a light up here, standard bulbs in it. And here on the right side, this is where to sit if you're going to sit in the third row. You have a USB, USB-C charge ports and 2 cup holders. So the person on this side is a little bit more, they have a little bit more stuff going on. And different size cup holders too. And the seat, of course, this is a third row. Typically, your knees are going to be sticking up in the air. So I'm 6 feet tall, just to give you an idea. Sitting back here would be okay. I mean, the actual seat comfort is nice. It's just the height off the floor. The headroom is okay. Got plenty of headroom here, but you know, this is a third row, so there's always a compromise in the third row. Both of these captain's chairs, they have armrests, but they also have this little net pocket bottle holder as well. So we can put a bottle there. Same thing on this one. On the higher trims, you get these seats. You don't get a bench seat. Now, if you want to slide the seats forward and back, there's a separate switch for that here. So you can lift this up, and you can go all the way anywhere on that rail and lock it in place wherever you want. Taking a look at the back of the vehicle, it has this shark fin antenna right here in a matte black, matching the roof rails. There's also a third brake light here in the top of the glass right in here. And there's a wiper as well. And the tail lights are LED, and the turn signals are standard bulbs back here. This little extension down here is strictly just for looks. There's no airflow, there's no lights or anything in it. There's little reflectors down in here, so those are not lights. The backup camera is offset, so they completely redesigned the vehicle, and for some reason they chose to offset the backup camera when they had a perfect opportunity to go ahead and put it in the very middle, or have it integrated, maybe in an emblem or something. Have it in a different position besides kind of like tacked on looking. It's just not symmetrical, and it makes the view not as good. So I'm not sure why they do that. The parking sensors across the back are hidden in this gloss black section. The exhaust is pretty well hidden. It's there on the right side. So there's your badging. So we can do the kick and open up the back. We can use the key to open up the power liftgate, or there's a button under here. So even the button itself is not centered. So the camera's offset, and all the button is underneath this N. So it's right there. There's a subwoofer. There are actually 2 speakers there in the liftgate. And if you have all the seats occupied with passengers, this is your cargo space, which it goes down quite a bit. And this is in order to accommodate folding these seats down. I'll show you that in just a minute. You can put a net pocket back here. There's a connection there. There's a little storage area right in here, just a tiny space to put something or hang something. There's tie downs here and here. Now this is important. So if you're going to buy this vehicle, or you sell these vehicles or whatever, this is an important thing to understand and explain to people. Your actual battery is behind this door, but also some of your tools for your spare tire kit. So on the inside of this door, there's a battery. On the inside, mounted on the inside of this plastic door, is the lug wrench and tool to use the jack. The jack is under this cover right here, so you just use this little handle and then lift it up and you can get to your jack. And the spare tire is over here. You grab this handle and you pull out, and it kind of just, this cover just snaps in place and you can access your spare tire. So that's 3 different spots you have to access if you have a flat. And if you're on the side of the road and you don't know where these items are, then it's going to be a pain if you don't know. So the spare tire is here, if it's equipped with a spare tire. Over here is the battery. On the inside of this plastic cover is your tools, and then the jack is down here. So that's 3 different locations. Make sure that the customers, if you're a salesperson, make sure your customers know where those items are before they leave the dealership. That's my recommendation. There's also backup bag holders here, kind of hang bags there. So in this new model, it's easier to fold the seats down. So let's go ahead and use this handle, and you just grab it and you just pull it down and push it down. You can flip that. Same thing, you just grab this handle, pull it, and it kind of flips. You push it down and flip that. Now I've noticed, since this is assisted lifting it up, these won't stay down. Like, it keeps wanting to pop up. Now, of course, if you put stuff on it, it'll stay down. It doesn't take much pressure to push it down, but just in general, they just don't really stay all the way down. Maybe because they're new, they're not broken in, I'm not sure. Lifting it up, this is a 2-step process. So you pick this up, go like that, then you grab this and pull it. So now the seat's in place. So you can add to your cargo space while still maintaining passenger space. So we have a passenger here. We can fold this seat down and have this open space here. Or we can fold down both these seats, move the seats forward, and have a wide open cargo area. Now, lowering the power liftgate, there's a little button right here. And you just push it and it'll come right on down. But if you push it twice, it'll lower, but it'll also lock the vehicle. So let's just push it one time, but be nice to, if you got your stuff out of the vehicle and you want to walk away and make sure it's secure, you just double tap it and it'll close this up and lock all the doors. It has a locking fuel door, and it's here on the driver's side, and it has a traditional cap, tether, and a place to hang the cap right in here on the inside of the door. As long as you have the key inside the vehicle to start it up, you just put your foot on the brake, hold it, and push this button right there. And since this is a hybrid, you may not hear the engine start, but it'll say ready right there. So now it's ready to drive without the engine running. It can use the electric system. Here's the floorboard in front of the driver's seat. It hooks in place. Accelerator and brake pedal there. The accelerator pivots here at the bottom to keep things from getting under there and sticking the pedal. And there's a footrest, nice wide big footrest there on the left side. So let's take a look under the hood. To raise the hood, there is a little latch a little bit to the right of center. So there's the center line, a little bit to the right in here. Just push it to the left and lift up. So there's a latch there. And the hood doesn't weigh a whole lot, but it does require a prop to hold it up. There's the prop, and it swings up. It's right there where the arrow is. Here's the engine compartment. And so this is a hybrid drive system. This is the same system that you'd find in the newly redesigned Toyota Highlander. So it is a proven design, and Toyota's hybrid systems are more reliable than the standard, just regular engine transmission systems. There's no belts. There's no belts on this at all, and it has a 4-cylinder engine. So in this particular case, when you're driving it, it feels like a V6 because of that hybrid drive system and the acceleration and all that stuff. The braking is enhanced because it's a hybrid. It's just a really impressive vehicle to drive, and it's very quiet. So as you're driving down the road, you don't hear anything. There's not a substantial amount of noise coming from the engine because sometimes the engine's not running, but also external noise like other vehicles and stuff. It's very quiet. So this is a foam cover right here. So that's foam covering up this top part of the engine. There's insulation there on the firewall. The intake here is in the front, so the heat does not, the exhaust is in the back, so the heat's not competing with the cooling system here in the front. Just a really well designed, from what I could tell, engine compartment. Now I'm going to put all the specifications, dimensions, all kinds of just the full specs and options and everything, a link to that in the description, so you can really go and scan through the relevant information that's relevant to you. But as far as driving it, it does feel like a V6. It has plenty of power. The inside of the driver's side door is just like the other side, except for it has a few more buttons. Here's the power window, so there's one touch up and down here in the front. Same thing in the back. That's as far down as the windows go in the back. So you can one touch up those in the front. Door lock control, side mirrors are adjusted there. Now the driver's seat, a little bit different from the passenger. You can go up and down, you can tilt. You also have a 4-way lumbar adjustment there as well. I think you can see the seat a little bit better on this side because there's not so much sunlight showing through. To the left of the steering column, there's little buttons right here. So we saw the fuel door release. We also have the ability to turn off the power door. So if you don't want kids playing around with the power doors, you can turn them off there. Traction control is default on. If you want to turn it off, you just push that button. You also have automatic high beams, in which you can turn that feature on or off. It has an indicator light letting you know what's going on. And the dimmer switch for your interior gauges are here. And also you have your reset the trip button. Tilt and telescoping steering column. There's the lever, and there's this neat little pocket right here. It's a continuation of that shelf system that you saw on the other side. It's really nice. Same thing with this wide open space here. There's a 12-volt power supply. I'm sitting in the driver's seat checking it out, and I'm 6 feet tall. I have the seat all the way down and all the way back to give you an idea of what the potential legroom is here. And this is a little bit too far back for me, actually, so I would probably pull it up a little bit. So if you're over 6 feet tall, you shouldn't have a problem, you know, being comfortable in this vehicle. Plenty of knee room there. You can put my leg in there basically. And this is a soft touch surfaces here as well, so if your knee does touch it, it's not a big deal. Here on the left side, same deal. I can like just go way over there. You know, it's just ridiculous how much room is here, as well as like the extension of my legs, but also the here on the sides as well. The steering wheel, very impressive. So it has the perforations there on the sides, and then the textured leather there on the bottom and top. Stitching on the inside just makes it even better. So you can see these buttons here on the bottom, here and here, those correspond with the radio. So you have your volume for your radio, voice recognition, mode, that's your audio source, and then changing through your tracks or your radio stations depending on what you're playing. Right up here on the top is your cruise control. So once you turn it on, you can cancel, resume, set, and this is for your adaptive cruise control. So there's a sensor in the front and behind the emblem for the radar adaptive cruise control, but there's also a camera behind the rearview mirror that keeps an eye on the road. So this sensor, the radar system, will keep you at a set distance between you and the vehicle in front of you, and this will this is your lane keep assist. Your lane keeps you in the lane, so it's keeping an eye on the lanes. Now, it has to be able to see the lanes. And when I just took it for a drive, the lanes were very faint, but it was still able to see them pretty good, even facing the sun. So it was pretty amazing how well that system worked, and it kept you in the middle of the lane. And when you do, extend out over the line or whatever, then instead of having some loud beep or anything, it just tugs you back on the steering wheel. It's pretty interesting. And here on the left side, this is your Bluetooth. You can answer or hang up once you pair your phone, talking about calls. And then this OK and these arrows with this back button correspond to the screen in the gauges. I'll show you that in just a minute. So this stock here on the right is your windshield wiper controls for your front and back. And your turn signal on the left side also has your headlight controls. So it has daytime running light off, automatic, parking, and headlights. And the fog lights are controlled here. Okay, so here's your gauges. And since this is the hybrid system, it has this dial here on the left, which corresponds with that. This is your engine coolant temperature. This is your speedometer there on the right side with your fuel gauge. And here in the center is a little tiny screen. So, but it does have a lot of useful information. So using the buttons I showed you here, so these buttons with this back button, I'm going to show you how useful this little screen can be, even though it's small. So here at the top, it's showing you whether it sees the lanes or not for that system, and you see showing you the lane keep assist is on, and if they can see the lines, right? And then the EV is to let you know that the vehicle is powered by electric right now. Shows the outside temperature, digital clock, digital speedometer, distance to empty, what gear you're in, and then there's the odometer. So if I scroll down, push the down arrow, I can get more information. You can see this is part of a menu system, and the icons pop up. So now we're in this first little leaf icon. As I scroll down in this leaf icon, we get more information about fuel economy and stuff like that. Scrolling to the right, this will be a digital compass and a larger view of the lines. Also, the adaptive cruise control system would also be visible here. Scrolling to the right again just shows you whatever your radio is doing, and you can change to the radio stations here. This next will be your trip. So it gives you a distance and a total time. And this is showing you where the power is coming from, whether it be battery, engine, and what's going on with your drivetrain basically. And this is your tire pressure. Scrolling to the right again, this will be your settings. Scrolling to the right again will be stored messages. And then next, it will go back to your digital speedometer, or the first icon. So that's kind of a quick rundown of that particular screen. And it's just there if you need it. You don't have to go in there, but it's there just in case you need to get some information. That's how you get to it. So we saw the start button. There's your four-way flashers here, a little red triangle. So this touch screen, it looks like there's a big glare on the camera, but with my eyes it's not a big deal. I can see it just fine. But it has physical buttons here on the outside. So you have physical buttons on the outside in addition to the screen in the middle, which is touchscreen. Physical volume knob, tune through the stations. And right now we're in the home screen, so there's a little home button right here. Takes us to this screen. It's a split. So right now it's your radio, your hybrid system, and then navigation screen. So we can just tap the one that we want to go to. So there's also a menu button right here, and we can have all the different options, and this is where you can go into your audio, apps, climate control. Projection is your Apple CarPlay, Android Auto capabilities as well. Alright, so let's start off with the audio. So this shows your presets there at the bottom. It has album art on certain screens. You can change your audio source here, and it has AM, FM, satellite radio, USB, and Bluetooth. Alright. You can pair your phone here. When you hit apps, it just pops up. The Intune app suite is part of your cell phone system, so you'll have to pair your cell phone in order to use that. Same thing with the Apple CarPlay Android Auto. You will have to plug it in. Let's go to climate control, see what that looks like. So you can see it has climate control buttons down here as well. So you don't have to go into the screen, but there is more information here as well if you want to. Since this is a quad zone system. Alright, so let's go to the map. There's a navigation map. We can put in a destination, we can search, you can zoom in and out, you can pinch zoom in and out, which is nice and smooth, and it's not slow or laggy, it's handling it quite well. So I like that combination of physical buttons as well as a touchscreen. There's a little bit of a flicker because of my camera is making it do that. It's not flickering at all. It actually looks really good, and the clarity, the resolution, everything about the screen is really nice. Okay, so down here is some climate control buttons, and so it's a quad zone. So the rear has two separate zones, and the front has two different zones. So the driver temperature is here. And you notice it's adjusting the passenger side as well because it is synced together. So there's this, it's synced together. So these buttons, you go up and down. So the fan speed, up and down. The rear, you can control that here. Go up to go forward. You can sync it or unsync it. Over here is the mode that changes where you want the air to blow. And then there's the passenger side temperature, up and down. Heated seats, a 3-stage, so there's high, medium, and low. Same thing for the passenger here in the front. And you'd have some quick access buttons here for your climate. If you want the climate control to be focused here on the front instead of the back, you can initiate that here. There's a USB port right here on the shelf. So the shelf is goes all the way across, a little USB port. That's where you'd want to plug in, or you have to plug in, your cell phone for the Apple CarPlay Android Auto. And then here's a place to put the cell phone here or there. So it has this pretty good size shifter. The shifter kind of gets in the way a little bit, but it's not so bad because there's so much space around it that it's not really a big deal. But it is a comfortable shifter. It's more traditional. Some people like that. When we put it in reverse, two things will happen. First, the backup camera will pop up. You can see it's offset significantly, so you can see more of one side of the tag than the other. So you have to accommodate for that when you're backing up. But also your parking sensors will activate as well. Alright, so neutral, drive, and then you can go into a sport mode, and you can shift through the gears manually, like a little ratchet shifter here. There's a cup holder right in there, a place to put your cell phone or something. Another one here, and they have little articulating arms in it. Electronic parking brake. Right now, the parking brake is set to turn on and off when you put the vehicle in park. So when we put it in drive, it turns off. See, the light turns off. Disengages the rear wheels automatically, and you can manually do it if you want. It has different drive modes. So you have a sport, regular, and eco. It's pretty normal. There's an EV mode in which you can try to get the vehicle to drive just electric, but you know, it has to have enough battery power. It's not going to always do that. And then a brake hold feature in which it'll hold the brake for you while you're sitting at a stoplight or stop sign or whatever, and then you just push the accelerator and it releases the brake. Okay, so right in here, this lifts up. You have more cup holders. There's a lot of cup holders in this vehicle. Plus this is open, so you can put cell phones in there or whatever. Utilize that for other stuff. I like these armrests because it has two separate ones. So you're not like competing with the passenger. So there's a good separation. The passenger's over there, you're here, so that way it's, you know, it's not, and these are pretty soft. You know, they're pretty soft. They do bottom out a little bit, but as far as an armrest, they're fine. Push this button, this lifts up, and there is two USB charge ports, USB-C and regular USB, and then a really way down in there deep storage area. So there is a light in here as well, so that's nice. I'm glad they did that. But it's all black in there, but it goes in there quite a bit. I mean, you can see a little bit better there. And you can access these charge ports in this handle, this bag holder right here as well. The rearview mirror is an auto dim rearview mirror. It also has your HomeLink garage door opener controls as well. You can turn on and off the auto dim by pushing that button, but it should auto dim by itself. You know, at nighttime. There's this light sensor here on the back here. There's a little tiny conversation mirror right here. I guess that could be helpful. It's very small though. There's an emergency button there. There's some ambient light at nighttime. Shine down here. You can turn on all the interior lights by pushing it over here, the switch. It's a toggle. Turn them all off or have them turn on with the door in that center position. This is for your sunroof. You have these little lights right here that you can turn on independently. You can also open and close your side doors and your power lift gate here. So side door, power lift gate. This is for your sunroof. The visors are a cloth material, just like the headliner. And they have mirrors and lights. It slides out. It slides in and out. It also has a little clip right here on the other side. And the passenger side is basically the same thing. The sunroof has a shade that covers up 100% of the light that you have to manually pull back. And then you have the ability to tilt it like so, or slide it back. Push the button again, it goes a little bit further back. Okay, so let's look at the visibility in the back. Some of the other trim levels, the higher trim levels, you can get a rear view camera system. So that'll help out with if you have a lot of passengers or cargo or whatever back here. But generally, you know, just driving the vehicle, looking out the back window, it's not so bad. Now there's massive pillars back there, and there's, you know, a lot going on that can obstruct your view, so you have to do your due diligence. It does have the blind spot detection system and rear cross traffic alert, and the indicators are on the side mirrors, so that does help. Blind spot detection system, rear cross traffic alert, the backup camera, the parking sensors, all that stuff really help out with, you know, just avoiding an accident basically. But anyways, thank you for watching, and thank you to Sparks Toyota here in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, and I'll see you guys next time.
So this is the estimated fuel economy, and then the all-wheel drive is 35, the front-wheel drive is 36 miles per gallon. Standard connected features: Safety Connect for a year, Wi-Fi through AT&T up to 2 gigabytes with a 3-month trial. Remote Connect is going to be standard on XLE and above. It's available in an LE with the Audio Plus package, which gives you, for a year, you can start it from your iWatch smart device, either your iPhone or Android device, and you also get a 10-year Service Connect trial. So Service Connect is, if anything were to come on, malfunction, it'll go right to the service center, so that way they're connected right with you.
This is Michael Holmes. He's the Toyota expert. Is filling me in, by the way.
Then also talks about the rear entertainment system, 11.6-inch 1080p. It's not a DVD player. It'll stream through your device. So you're streaming from your personal device into the vehicle, and it'll pull up on the TVs. You also get a remote and 2 wireless headphones.
Nice.
Other things with the Platinum is the heads-up display, full color, 10-inch, displays your speedometer, navigation, and hybrid systems as well. And then the digital rearview mirror. This will be available on the limited and platinum grade, which, if there's a bunch of cargo or people in the vehicle, you can flip the mirror to a full video screen and it shoots it right out the back, so there's no obstructions. Driver's Easy Speak is available and standard on XSE and above, and available on XLE. That's this whole vehicle. We have microphones throughout the whole car, so you can just have a conversation like we are right now. Easy access on the home screen. Just a really nice extra feature. Now what's really neat is the climate control system. There's actually 4 zones on XLE and higher. Most of us are familiar with 2 zones, being driver and passenger, or a 3rd zone being the 2nd row. But 4 zones allows every row and every person really to have their own setup. So you can have it
and
driver.
That's on this one? Or that's on the higher trim?
No, it'll be on this.
Okay.
So there is going to be driver, passenger, 2nd row, and 3rd row capability of it, as in all different temperatures if you wanted to. Storage. When you go into a XSE like this or higher, you have the captain's chairs, which will give you a total of 18 cup holders, because there's 2 additional on the captain's. So if you want a bench, you have to have an XLE or an LE. It's not available on a XSE, limited, or platinum. They come standard with captain's chairs.
Okay. So if you need more seating, you need to get a lower trim.
Yeah, you need an XLE. And then this is just a comparison what we had talked about earlier. The Pacifica is actually a plug-in style hybrid. So to get your 32 range of electric, you'll have to plug it in. If you don't plug it in, you're only going to get an average of around 30. So the difference is that their total range is 510 miles. The total range of the Sienna in a tank of gas is over 600. It's close to 650 miles. So we have them beat by over 100 miles alone in just range. Let alone you don't have to charge this car ever. You don't plug it in. You don't have to do anything outside of your normal everyday routine that you don't want it to be interrupted. And that's going to be the major difference. I know I'm upset when I forget to plug my phone in. Can you imagine not plugging in your car?
Yeah.
And that's it.
So you can you send that as a link to other people can see that?
Yeah.
That slide? Okay.
Yeah. I can send you that, and you can make up slides. I'm going to post these on my Sparks Toyota business page, which I'll send you a link for that, and it'll have all that information on there as well.
Awesome.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining us.